Hey guys, so yesterday we started talking a little bit about the difference between a schedule and a routine and the freedom that a routine or a simple daily habit gives you over a schedule. Because remember, a schedule is not taking into account all of the little daily intricacies that are happening in your life, all of the seasons that you're going through with your children, or as you're adding another baby to the family or things like that. It doesn't take into account. It's merciless, right? You've got this spreadsheet and it's like 8 o'clock you're having breakfast, 9 o'clock everybody's dressed, 10 o'clock you're going out for a walk, 11 o'clock is lunch, and it's not taking into account every little piece of your life that maybe kind of keeps you from sticking to such a rigid schedule, versus a routine is going to give you the freedom to have consistent daily habits that are sustainable long term and that will adjust with you. So think about this. Here's the difference between a schedule and a routine as a stay-at-home mom. So let's say with waking up in the morning, you're like, I want to get up and I want to hit the ground running. So I'm going to set my alarm for 6:30. I'm going to get up, I'm going to make breakfast. I'll have the baby up by 7. He'll eat, then we'll both get dressed. Then we're going to go for a walk by 8 o'clock. We'll take the dogs, then we're home by 8:30, books, and then an educational arts and crafts. And then at 9:15, we'll have a snack, right? You've got it scheduled every single minute. And the first time that baby has a rough night and you guys sleep past 6:30, your whole morning is shot. Just totally off, because it didn't take into account what happens if baby sleeps in one morning and I want to sleep in too, or what happens if the weather is bad and we can't get out on our walk. Now I don't have an alternative activity. Or what happens if, I don't know, my husband stays home from work one day and he just wants to lounge around and watch movies all morning. Now what do we do, right? Your schedule is totally thrown off. Your whole day is weird. And I don't know about you, but once I get off schedule, my whole day is shot, and like I'm not getting back on schedule for the rest of the week, right? Okay, now picture this. Your routine is when we wake up in the morning, we sit together as a family and we read books. And after about 15 minutes, and my kiddo continues to read books on his own while I make breakfast. And then we eat breakfast, and after breakfast we get dressed, and then we check the weather and we plan an activity based on the weather. So we might go to the library if it's cold and rainy. We might go for a walk with the dogs if the weather is nice. But you're moving through the day based on natural triggers. When breakfast is done, that's how we know to get dressed. We don't look at the clock and say, oh, it's 8 o'clock, we have to get dressed, right? We get dressed because breakfast is done, and that's the natural, normal next step to our day. That's the difference between a routine and a schedule. So how do you get started building routines? Well, let me tell you something. You probably already have routines. You just refuse to acknowledge it because you're so caught up with fitting your life into the boxes on your schedule. So stop it. Tear up the schedule, put it in the trash, and start paying attention to what's naturally happening. My morning routine has evolved over the years, but the very first morning routine that I had came because of what was naturally happening in my house, which is I had a 3-year-old at the time. This was my oldest son when he was like 2.5 and 3. And he would wake up every single morning and he was hungry and he wanted to have breakfast, but I was too tired to make breakfast. And he wanted to watch cartoons right away. So I started buying him like these little snack bar, granola bar things at the grocery store. And we would wake up and he would have a snack and sit on the couch and watch cartoons, and I would sit on the couch and watch cartoons with him and maybe scroll through my email and get the day started like that and have a cup of coffee. And then after about an hour, he was ready to get up and I was feeling more awake and ready to make breakfast. The dogs were ready to get up and be let outside and fed, and that became our morning routine. Now over the years that has evolved as we've added more children, but the base of it has stayed the same. And all I had to do was pay attention to what my son was already doing, which is waking up at about the same time every single morning and asking for a snack and wanting to watch cartoons. That was it. And I built my morning routine around that. Okay. So pay attention to throughout your day what is already happening that you can build on. Stop living in denial, because guess what? The perk of being a stay-at-home mom is that you don't have to be chained to schedules anymore. You can set your day however you want every single day. That's the freedom of being a stay-at-home mom. And that's the freedom that your kids get. They don't have to rush out the door to daycare or to school or whatever. I mean, maybe if they're older, but if they're little kids, they're not rushing out the door to get to daycare or their babysitter or anything like that because they're staying home with you. So give them that freedom and embrace it and build routines and not schedules, okay? So start by examining your day, what's already happening in your day that you can build on. And then remember to keep your routine simple and sustainable. Guess what? Go back to my morning routine that I was talking about before. Letting my son have a snack and watching a cartoon for maybe 30 or 40 minutes in the morning. Super simple, so easy. We don't need anything except for a little granola bar from the grocery store every week, one for every morning, and a TV, right? Oh, that was it. That was all we needed. And then I would have a cup of coffee with it. So keep it simple and then keep it sustainable. That was a routine that he and I started 4 years ago. I was pregnant with baby number 2 at the time, and he was about 3, right in there. And now 3 more kids later, we have 4 kids total. We have pretty much the same routine, and again, things kind of evolve over the years, but we're pretty much the same routine, and it still works. I still get to sit on the couch and feed the baby in the morning and, scroll through the news on my phone and kind of wake up a little bit while the kids get fed first thing in the morning, and they have a quiet activity, which is watching a cartoon. And so they're not like, mommy, 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 first thing in the morning, because I cannot start my day like that. Okay. So keep your routine simple and sustainable and build on what's already happening in your day. Okay. Have a great day.